Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Jace Mackey. Thank you for joining us tonight. We begin at Lloydminster City Hall. The completed Lloydminster Community Safety Strategy was discussed at Council this week. The City of Lloyd received $43,000 in grant funding from the Government of Saskatchewan Ministry of Corrections, Policing and Public Safety. Now, the goal of this project is to reduce negative interactions with law enforcement throughout the community.
The strategy gives us a pretty clear idea of some of the challenges that we face, and we heard from residents of the community, from various groups in the community that felt that they're challenged by the policing, but also by safety.
The strategy aims to improve relations between marginalized groups and authorities. This also includes adding a mental health worker onto the RCMP force within Lloydminster.
That's been a long time discussion of having a mental health worker available to our RCMP team to alleviate them of becoming social workers while they're trying to police our city. And it's simply the fact that it's something that's needed in the city, and it's needed now.
The safety strategy received approval at Council and will now be implemented in 2 business plans. Some local residents dared to take on some mighty bulls during the Lloyd X Fair. Here's our Thomas Wildman with more on the exciting event.
You're down there on the ground.
There was lots to enjoy at the grandstand on the final day of the Lloyd X Fair, with both the calf scramble and the wild pony races. But the main event was the second edition of the Running with the Bulls. Various cowboys and cowgirls entered into the ring with 3 wild bulls in each round, and the crowd and organizers were loving every second of it.
Watch those guys go out there. It takes a whole lot of heart, and I tell you, a whole lot of bravery. We had some people get injured today, which is fine, like I expected. Hopefully they're all okay. You know, they're going to be. They appear fine so far, so we're looking forward to that. The crowd, they were right into it. I look forward to doing it again next year. It's a blast.
The competitors were looking to impress a panel of judges in order to win the grand prize of $5,000. Many came into the ring, but only a few were truly as mighty as the bull. None were more mighty than Caleb Bull, who got hit hard in the second round, but re-emerged in the third round and continued the good fight against the beasts. The final decision came between him and the reigning champion, but Caleb's tenacity got him the win.
It feels great, honestly. The $5,000 is worth all the pain.
Caleb plans to come back and defend his title next year.
I'm going to become a 2-time champ.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime Local News.
And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark for an extended look at your evening weather forecast.
Thanks again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking an extended look at your weather forecast, we'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. We have warmed up slightly from what we have been seeing starting off the week so far, but we are still seeing some spots in those teen temperatures. 16 up in Cold Lake and Athabasca, as they're matching a little bit more with us here in the border city. 19 still in Edmonton, and the rest are just hitting that 20-degree mark. We have, for the rest, just at 21 and 22, but it seems like 22 degrees seems to be looking at the warmest condition we are seeing on our Alberta side. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are matching with us for the most part with these conditions compared to our Alberta side. Most spots are just sitting around 16 and 17 degrees with Prince Albert, Meadow Lake, and down in Saskatoon. And then we have North Battleford and Melfort just sitting at 20 degrees. Now going over to our northern zone. Surprisingly, the Saskatchewan side in our northern zone is looking slightly warmer from what we have been seeing in our central area. They are seeing past that 20-degree mark in all of these spots, and 25 seems to be looking at the warmest condition in up in Uranium City and Stony Rapids compared to the rest. Most are just sitting around 22 to 23 degrees, and then down in Flin Flon, they're just hitting that 20-degree mark. And going back over to Alberta side here, they are kind of matching with us with these temperatures compared into our central area. Fort Yukon and Fort McMurray looking a lot warmer, just at 24 and 25 as they are just hitting those mid-20 temperatures. And then we start to slightly cool down from there. 22 up in High Level, while it's 21 for both Peace River and down in Grande Prairie. And then we are just sitting at 19 there in Slave Lake. Now going over to our southern zone. They have cooled down quite a bit from what they have been seeing yesterday. They were seeing some of these areas with that heat warning in place, especially with Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, as they were hitting that 30-degree mark and just past it yesterday compared to the rest. And these spots here have warmed up as well. They were sitting around those teen temperatures between like 16 to 17 degrees. Now they have warmed it back up past that 20-degree mark for today. Banff is just hitting 20, while it is 22 in Calgary. Up in Coronation, they are still looking quite cool with that 15-degree mark. And now we are seeing 24 for both Medicine Hat and Lethbridge. So they're getting kind of a nice break from seeing that scorcher yesterday. And now going back over to our Saskatchewan side here, Kindersley seems to be looking at the only cool temperature with 16 degrees. The rest are just seeing past that 20-degree mark. We have 21 with Swift Current and Yorkton, and then the rest are seeing those mid-20s with Moose Jaw and Regina at 25, and then Estevan is even seeing closer to that 30-degree mark now, just at 27. So we are definitely seeing a different range of temperatures in our southern zone. But now looking at some overnight evening lows for these temperatures on this list in our surrounding area, we will be expecting those double digits once again for all of these spots. A low of 10 that Meadow Lake will be seeing tonight, while it'll be a low of 11. Paradise Hill will be expecting for the evening. A low of 12, Bonnyville and Provost will be expecting, and Isla Cross will be expecting the warmest on this list with a low of 14. So we will be seeing a warm evening for most of these spots. The only difference is that we won't be seeing a high chance of some precipitation or a thunderstorm like what we kind of saw last night in most of these areas. Besides Meadow Lake, they will be expecting a couple of evening showers later on, around a 70% chance. So they will be expecting some rainfall later on. Looking at our hourly forecast for our Wednesday here in the border city, we will be looking at starting off with around 15, 17 right off in the morning. So already looking at the same temperature as what we saw for today. But then for our mid-afternoon daytime high, we will be reaching around 21 and 22 degrees. So we will be warming up slightly more from what we saw today. So that will be nice. We're going to be moving back into those 20s, moving on from those teen temperatures. Because then once we go past Wednesday, we will be looking at 24 on Thursday. And tomorrow we also will be expecting a shower or two. So a warm day and also some precipitation. That doesn't sound too bad to me. It's balance. We will hopefully get some rainfall and also still see a little bit more sun. And then past that, we will be starting to get sunnier and sunnier for Thursday and Friday, hitting that 26-degree mark. And that 26 degrees will continue on through the weekend with a mixture of some sun and cloud, and even starting off next week. So be prepared. We're going to have some scorchers ahead here in the border city. That's all I have for now. RJ Smacky will have more news coming up after the break.
Back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we're in their multi-purpose room and we're talking about a bonded pair of guinea pigs, funnily named Ben and Jerry after the ice cream, which I think is absolutely adorable. Tell me a little bit about their story and how, you know, they're a bonded pair, so tell me how that works as well.
Yeah, so they were surrendered to us. I believe the owner might have been moving or just couldn't care for them anymore. They're about 2 years old. They are a bonded pair. They are very sweet, so yeah, we would have liked them to go together just because they've already spent the first 2 years of their lives together. Yeah, they're about 2 years old, and they're kind of similar to rabbits, you know, kind of same. You're going to need a cage for them. They can be free roaming.
Yeah, typically how, you know, they're a little step up, a little bit more work than hamsters, but a little less work than cats or dogs. But still, you know, having bunnies and guinea pigs like that, it requires a little bit more extra work than just say you have a hamster or something.
More cleanup.
Yeah, more cleanup. You need a bigger area than just a small little cage for them to roam. So how does bonded pairs work when they come in to adopt? I know we've talked about them with cats and stuff. So how does the bonded pair situation kind of work?
So we would actually give a discount price at it. I'm not 100% sure what it is for guinea pigs. I believe they're about $75, but we would probably do both for $100. So yeah, you get a little bit of a discount, right? Then they got a buddy. So if somebody travels a lot or is gone a lot, it's kind of nice because they've got a buddy to hang out with, as long as you leave them some food and water and everything they need there, they should be good to go. And yeah, these guys are quite nice. They're very friendly, very cuddly, so you can tell they were well socialized.
Which is really good, especially what you want, because they can be a little bit skittish. I know rabbits can be very skittish as well, so you want to take that extra time to just keep them in a calm environment and stuff. But it's great that, you know, they have that fun, loving personality, is especially what you want in kind of these kind of animals.
Playing a little shy right now, but
yeah. And how have you seen them interact together?
yeah, they seem really good. Like I noticed even before when we've gotten bonded pairs before with guinea pigs, people tell us they're bonded pairs, but then they start fighting a bit. But we haven't noticed any fighting out of these guys, and they snuggle, and so Ben and Jerry, right?
Yeah, it works out perfectly. And when we first came in here, they were underneath the house together, or underneath the wood covering. So they seem like they comfort each other a lot, which is nice to see. And so you don't always have to give them 100% of attention because they have each other, which is awesome. Now this weekend, it's your finally it's your microchipping event. Give me some details that people should know.
Yeah, so it's finally happening. Parking lot's good to go, so there'll be lots of parking. Yeah, so it's this Saturday from 11 to 4. You can come and get your animal microchipped. It is a minimum $30 donation. If you want to give a little more, you definitely can. As well as we're going to be having a barbecue from 12 to 4. We'll have some hot dogs there, pop, chip, that kind of thing, as well as glitter tattoos. We'll be putting those on. It's a really good way, too, if you haven't been to the new shelter, to come and actually check it out. I know a lot of people want to get down here, but they don't get an opportunity to, so it's kind of nice because you got the barbecue going as well, even if you don't want to do the microchipping. But yeah, no, it's a great deal, and we're really hoping for a big turnout because the more animals that are microchipped, the less that end up staying here, and we can reunite them with the owner.
Which is exactly what you want, which is why I love this idea of this event so much, is because, you know, it's very sad when you lose an animal, and sometimes you'll never be able to find it. Off the off chance you may be able to, but if it's not microchipped, it's, you know,
you got a way better success rate.
The chances are so much slimmer when you don't have it. So it's great that you guys are being able to turn into an event that people can come and donate. Minimum $30. You can leave $30 later, and your pet can be reunited if off chance it does run off, which is awesome. Now they don't need to make an appointment; they can just show up.
It's going to be walk-ins, just because we're not really sure. So you might have to wait a little bit, but in the meantime, you can grab a hot dog, pop a chip, or come see the animals. I mean, we've got lots of animals. Even if you know your dog's little, we can put them in a kennel while you kind of just look around at the other animals, visit with them. So yeah, no, there's no appointment needed. Just stop on by, and that's between 11 to 4.
And any other events, you have your discount still going on, right?
Yes. So we also have our summer sale going on. So that's any animal over 6 months. So that's cat, dog, as well as rabbits and guinea pigs. You're already going to get a deal with them, but we might be able to give you an even better deal. So yeah, no, that goes on till Saturday. That will end at the end of the day on Saturday.
And speaking of, you know, this summer sale, getting the numbers out of here, how are you doing with numbers? I know that when we were walking past, you had some more kittens come in, so it seems like you guys are fairly full. How has that been going so far?
Yeah, so we're definitely fairly full. We've actually been pretty lucky with animals getting returned to their owners. Like last week, we had 10 animals find their owner, so that was great. Majority of them were microchipped, so that made huge. Because sometimes we'll only get 1 or 2 a week that are returned, but we're intaking 20 animals a week. Yeah. So to see 10 animals reunited, it was actually 5 cats. And then, 6 cats, 4 dogs. So that was just really nice to see. But yeah, we're still full. I mean, we're getting 3 or 4 dogs a day, as well as the kittens are coming out like crazy. And I guess this is a good time to also mention I had gone to the old shelter yesterday, and I found a mama and babies. Aww. So just if anybody is, I don't know if they were left. They might not have been left. They might have but just letting everybody know we are no longer at that location. We did have a sign up. I know somebody said that they haven't seen a sign, so we're definitely gonna make sure that we got better signage there. But yeah, we are not at the old location. So if you are gonna dump animals, make sure you're dumping them at this location. Yeah. Please don't dump them and call us ahead of time just so that we can prepare for them. But if there is an emergency or whatever, make sure we're doing the right building.
Yes, because at least you guys were able to find them and, you know, take them in and stuff. That is really sad.
And we are checking on the daily to make sure that no animals are there, but, you know, just if anybody is in, you know, an emergency and needs to just drop their animals, do it here, you know. Like I said, call first if you can. We will make arrangements. Obviously, we're at max capacity, But, you know, we don't want to see any animal just get dropped off in the woods or on the side of the highway or whatever. So just call us and we'll make a plan.
Which is awesome that you guys are still able to accommodate, and hopefully by doing this you'll phase out having to go back to the old shelter eventually, and it just being completely shut down and all here. So that's awesome. Now, like the same as every week, is there any donations that you're in need of?
So kitten food, kitten and puppy food, that's what we're seeing the most of right now. We're doing okay for adult food, as well as we can always use bedding. With all the puppies we've had, we go through it like crazy, as well as rabbit or guinea pig food. We can always use that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. And if anybody is looking for a bonded pair of adorable guinea pigs named after a lot of people's favorite ice cream, definitely come and check them out, and hopefully they can find their forever home and stay together.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Nina Snyder, Chief Operations Officer with Alberta Lung. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nina.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Really glad to be able to have you on here because Alberta Lung has a Walk to Breathe fundraiser. Now, starting off, with the most simplest question, what exactly is this fundraiser all about?
Well, Walk to Breathe was almost developed by a volunteer of ours, Chris Sadler, whose dad underwent a lung transplant about 6 years ago. They were lucky enough that they had family up in Edmonton. So a lot of the costs for his stay in Edmonton post-transplant didn't really apply to them because they were able to stay with family. Unfortunately, as they discovered when they started meeting other people that had come up to Edmonton for transplant from Ponoka, Medicine Hat, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, that was not the case. What a lot of people don't realize is that the cost for a lung transplant is covered, of course, by Alberta Health Services, but you need to have a caregiver with you 24/7. And you have to be within an hour of the University of Alberta Hospital. Now, the U of A does a large number of transplants, almost 80 transplants per year, and 70% of those people come from outside of Edmonton. So we kind of say if you don't have $70,000 in the bank, you're really not getting on that transplant list because that's how much it costs to stay in a hotel or motel or wherever you can afford post-lung transplant. So that's the reality. Many Albertans, folks from Saskatchewan, Manitoba, we have the largest catchment area in Canada. So folks are coming from northern BC, Northwest Territories, all over Canada to receive a lung transplant. It can bankrupt a family financially. And so the Lung Association recognized that challenge very early on. So we have begun our largest capital campaign in our 75-year history to build breathing space, which will be the first of its kind in Canada, built next, almost close to the University of Alberta Hospital. And it'll provide a recovery home for transplant patients and their families for the 3, 4, 8 months post-transplant.
I'm really glad we were able to talk about this because, for Albertans, they can help, and for people here, especially in the border city. Now, for people that want to find some more information online, where can they look to help participate in this?
You just need to go to albertalung.ca, our website, and under the event page is the registration link. This is a Facebook fundraiser, so you register, you share amongst your friends and family, get a team together. It's just a one way that we can kind of collectively reach out to the communities that transplant patients are going to come from.
And for this fundraiser, this started on July 17th, correct?
Yeah, it just started Monday and it goes right to September the 4th.
Well, this is why I'm really glad we're able to speak about this and help get the word out, because I know this already started, but this hasn't really started too long ago. So this is really good. We could help get the word out and let people know about this fundraiser now. Is there anything more you'd like to add that I may have missed out on?
In light of the air quality, to have people please check that before you embark on any physical activity, particularly if you have lung disease. So we just ask folks to download the Air Quality Health Index app and just take care of their breathing while they're embarking on this. But it is something, stationary bike for half an hour at home is just as good as getting out there to walk. And have fun with it. We often joke that take your mother-in-law shopping for 15 minutes, and that's like a 30-minute exercise.
Perfect, Nina. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, and I really hope you see some strong support, but I'm assuming you will, and I'm really glad, this is a thing for Albertans, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Ending off with another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing a high chance of some precipitation tomorrow, a shower or two, and we are warming up to that 22-degree mark for our daytime highs. So we should have a nice balance tomorrow, maybe get a little bit of more rainfall and see a little bit more sunshine, because after that we will be warming up to that 24 on Thursday with mostly sunny skies. So we will be slowly moving into those scorchers slowly as we go into the weekend. Friday we'll be starting off with that 26, almost reaching that 30-degree mark. We may even warm up a little bit as we get closer to the weekend. And then we will be seeing some scorchers for the weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. So make sure to have your water ready and that sunscreen ready. Don't put it away just yet, because we will be seeing some scorchers coming up ahead. And then we will be starting off next week as we continue on those warm days with 26 next Monday and seeing that same temperature next Tuesday.
I think if you like the 26-degree temperatures, you're really going to be enjoying that weekend and into next week. Thank you so much for that, Shelby, and thank you all for joining us here on Primetime Local News. That's all the time we have tonight, but we'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, have a great night.